Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the 5 things that I don't exactly like about the all-new BMW i4 M50. Before we get into the video though, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Now the first thing is the grille. Now I know there's a lot of online hate for the 4 Series and the 3 Series because they have like the oversized kidney grills, and frankly I'm actually not a part of that online hate because I actually think that with certain packages it looks pretty good. Like with the M cars, I think it actually works. Now the reason I'm saying that I don't like the grill on this is it is completely useless on this car because this is fully electric, so it does not need a grill at all, and yet it still has the massive kidney front grille, which yeah, it's just weird. Like I don't understand it. So yeah, I had to bring it up. Like if this was at least a gas powered car, I wouldn't be as like but it's electric. Number 2 is interior reflections. This one is kind of interesting because had I brought my sunglasses with me one day, I would have never noticed this, but you got the silver trim throughout the interior, which looks great, and frankly most of it's fine. But you also have some around this area right here, and you also have like this trim as well, and this dial, and it reflects light like crazy. It can be blinding during certain times of the day. And so I just wish that automakers would make all of this trim, like even if they do like a bright color like this, just completely matte in like coloration, so there's no reflection from the sunlight, so that like you can drive and not get blinded. Now number 3 is the acceleration sounds. So if you guys haven't seen my review on this on the main channel, go watch it so you guys can hear the sounds that this makes while it accelerates. And I'm actually a big fan of the sounds. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is the fact that you can't use the sound in all of the drive modes. So basically, you've got 3 main drive modes here. You've got Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro, and there's like sub-drive modes within those drive modes. But all you need to know is in Comfort, you get some noise, and in Sport, you get more noise, and in Eco Pro, you get no noise. Now, you can actually completely turn off the noise if you want, but you can't turn it on in different drive modes. And like, for me, I think it'd be cool if I could have it in Eco Pro mode, because like, yeah, I'm not doing any sporty driving, but like, I still want to hear the noises, but I also want to get like good range. So like, I don't know, I wish they would just have like, you know how like cars have an exhaust button? I wish they would have the same thing for like the noise, like somewhere in this area, just like noise, no noise. That would be cool. Now, number 4 is the fact that this is not an EV from the ground up. So if you guys don't know, BMW basically took a 4 Series and they electrified it. Now, there are a bunch of changes that have to happen for that to be possible, but this ultimately is not an EV from the ground up, which does mean that it is not going to be perfect from an EV perspective. And there's a few downsides that I see. I already kind of talked about the fact that it has this completely useless, massive front grille, which is whatever, like I can get past that. But the other thing is just with the overall like weight distribution and driving feel, this drives amazingly well. It does drive like a BMW, but you can tell that the weight's not as balanced as some EVs that again are ultimately built as an EV only, if that makes sense. And then the other thing is, it doesn't feel like this car is quite rigid enough for how much power it puts to the ground, because sometimes when you floor it, you can kind of hear like the car creak a little bit, as if, again, the structure was not intended to have as much power as an EV puts down to the ground instantly from a standstill. So yeah, overall, it drives amazingly well, but being that it was not intended to be an EV from the start, it does have a few slight downsides. Now, number 5 is the price. Now let's take a quick look at the window stickers so you guys can see the price, and then, well, hopefully you guys will understand. So, MSRP on this is $77,070, which puts it in direct competition with the Tesla Model 3. But this starts at $65,000, whereas the Model 3 Performance starts at like $61,000, $62,000. And so what this car is competing against is ultimately less expensive than it, and Tesla, frankly, has a much stronger brand name than BMW when it comes to electric vehicles. Now, BMW overall, I feel like has a stronger brand name as like an automaker, but again, as an EV maker, not so much. And so the fact that it starts out as a more expensive car compared to its competition, a little bit of a red flag. And then the other thing is, again, the Tesla Model 3 was built as an EV from the ground up, where again, this is just a electrified 4 Series, so like you're paying more money for a car that ultimately was not intended to be an EV from the start. Like I said, BMW did an amazing job with this car, and I actually prefer this to the Model 3. I will say that, but I do think that for like the average consumer, it would be an easier sell if this was the same price as the Model 3 or even a little bit less than the Model 3. And also the fact that like you can get a gas-powered 4 Series that might not have as much performance as this, but pretty similar performance for less money also kind of, yeah, it's a thing. That's going to sum things up for the 5 things I don't exactly like about the new BMW i4. With that being said, I'll see all of you in that next video.